Hey guys, welcome to another video. So this is my full review of the LG G Flex. Now if the G Flex's device, this phone can't impress you, I don't know what device will. We obviously have tons of devices on the market that we can choose from, and back when the Samsung Galaxy Note first came out, everybody said, oh my god, that thing's huge, it'll never sell. Well, look at us now. We've moved on to where we want a larger device, and hey, some people can say that they don't, but majority of the people don't. I will say that majority of the people don't want a larger device. They just don't care for it. But for people that like to explore and like to have a phone and a tablet all in one, or just a larger phone for display for watching videos and just whatever, it can't be denied that 5 inches and above is almost required now. It's crazy. But my full review of the G Flex won't be very long because there's really not much to cover. But I will go over some of the specs. It has a 6-inch display, as you can see there. It's very big, very beautiful. For the techies, it is a 720 display, which gives it a lower pixel density per inch, which is 245. But end users, we don't care about that. We just want a big, beautiful display if we're looking for this type of device. As you can see here, it is a curved display, which is unique in its own. It makes the phone feel really nice in the hand. It definitely has its own appeal. It makes the phone feel smooth. It feels really good and easy to hold, I guess I want to say. The curve actually helps. The curved display is one of the biggest selling points as well. The fact that it has a 6-inch display is even better. It does have Dolby enhanced sound on here, and I can't play anything due to copywriting, but it is very, very loud. I will tell you, the speakerphone is loud, music is loud. The earpiece for phone calls is crystal clear. The microphone, when making calls, people say I sound really clear. And if you're doing HD calls, it is really clear. I mean, it is super clear. It has 32 gigs of storage built in. No SD card slot, but I would suggest that most people, you really need to take advantage of your cloud storage. Even if you don't have a 32 gig device and you just have an 8 or whatever, take advantage of your free cloud storage. And mainly who I use for cloud storage is Google. I have all my music stored on Google server. I have like 5,000 songs there. They give you up to 20,000, and also your purchase music. And then I use Google Plus for my pictures and videos, which leads me to have a lot of memory free on my device. Of the 24 gigs, I have 22 gigs available, and that is just more than enough. That is more than enough memory. Some people complain, oh, it's only got, well, you got to learn to take advantage of the things that are right there in front of you. And cloud storage is definitely one. It has 2 gigs of RAM, which makes this device fly. You would think that 3 gigs would make it even better, but on my Note 3 there's 3 gigs, and it's still really choppy, believe it or not. I don't know, it's just TouchWiz has become clunky. But they've basically taken design elements from TouchWiz, and you can definitely tell, and I think they've done a better job. It is an LTE device. Hopefully you guys are in the LTE area. And this is a USB host and USB on the go. And what that means is you can plug in things to the bottom here, like a flash drive or something like that. It'll read it, open up the file manager. You can load it to your device, so you can just watch what's on it or listen to what's on it. I think that's a fantastic feature. The 2.1 megapixel front camera here does 1080p at 30 frames per second, but the 13 megapixel on the back does 1080p at 30 frames and 60 frames per second, and it also does 4K shooting. I've already got a video sample up of the 1080p, so go check that out. But the plus to having, and while I'm here, let's talk about the button layout. LG has decided to move all of their buttons to the back of the device, and at first, just like Samsung Galaxy Note, people laughed at it and said that's stupid, it's not going to sell, it's not going to work. Well, this actually works. You've got your LED flash on the back, your camera, your IR blaster, your power button in the middle, and your up and down volume. Now the plus of this, I say, is for those of you who like to take pictures of yourself or take pictures of a group of people, you can actually use the 13 megapixel camera instead of using the lower resolution 2.1 on the front. You're going to get some fantastic pictures and video. And you just press the volume down and it'll start the camera. It is unbelievable. That camera takes fantastic video and pictures, I gotta tell you. It's running 4.2.2 Jelly Bean, which is perfectly fine for me and most users. It's got a quad-core processor, the new Snapdragon 800, clocked at 2.2.6. And for video gaming, it's definitely got a good graphics processor, the Adreno 330. And pretty much, that's pretty much it. It says it has a 3,500 milliamp battery, but on the T-Mobile variant, on LG's website, it says that it has a 3,400 milliamp battery. I don't know why. Now, daily performance and use, this isn't hard to handle like you would think. Even with a case, it's not hard to handle. Performance is just buttery smooth. There's nothing that'll disappoint you about the performance of the actual device. Web browsing is super smooth, buttery smooth. And let's just go ahead and do some web browsing really quickly over T-Mobile's 4G LG network. Now I'm in my upper room in my office, so the service is so-so. And I'll also run a quick speed test to show you my speeds that I get inside my house. Outside my house, I'm getting well over 35 or so. But in my house, here's a full website. This is the LG website. Full website loaded up perfectly fine. It's actually done. Let's go to my favorite place to go get news, Android Authority. You guys don't know me, but shout out to Android Authority. I like their website. I think they keep it pretty neutral. Just that one Asian dude or whatever he is, I think he's one of the best reviewers out there. He does well. See, web browsing, you can see it's really fast. I think you won't be, and in my house I do not get good service. Well, I get good service, obviously I'm on LTE, but the speeds aren't as fast as they are outside of my house. You know, that's just the way it is. But it is really good. So speaking of speeds, I'm going to jump to another website here. I'm going to try to find a full website. High on Android. Go to him. He's good. He's another person that I like to go to for news and things on Android. I think he keeps it neutral. As you can see how quickly it loads this page. It's buttery smooth, very fast. Web browsing is the, you know what I'm about to say. Let's get into a speed test real quick so I can show you my speeds within inside of my house here. I'm just going to hit it. I picked up Temple, Texas, but I'll change it to Austin. Fairly decent speeds. Normally I'm getting about 17, but if I take 2 steps over, I'll get about 17 in my bedroom area in there. But in my office area, this is what I'm getting at the moment, so I'm going to change this to Austin. And you can see some of the results here in my house. I've been doing pretty good. So let's go to another test. And speed tests are, you know, they don't mean anything. As you can see, my web browsing is really fast, and you know, download speeds are good for the web browsing. It loads full web browsers really fast, and it does its thing. So that's it for speed tests. I get great speeds in my house, enough to stream Netflix and do everything else. And speaking of which, if you're on the T-Mobile network and you get the G Flex, you get 6 months free of Netflix. Now, I have never used Netflix, didn't plan on buying any, nothing. I don't want to spend $8 a month on something that I can just go to Redbox and get. Well, it turns out Netflix is really cool. Now that I've been using it on my G Flex, it actually is really nice. So many movies, and it just looks so gorgeous on this beautiful display. It is just the thing to have. I mean, thank you T-Mobile and LG for giving us 6 months free. When you buy the G Flex on T-Mobile, they give you a little code, and you go to a website, put your IMEI in, and boom, they send you basically a card, a gift card or whatever to put in to pay for the 6 months. And that is that. Another cool feature from T-Mobile and LG. Sorry everybody else if you didn't get it on T-Mobile. You know, hey, perks and everything. Overall, guys, the performance of this device is just flawless. I haven't had any hiccups. Again, call quality is just perfect, especially on an HD call. It is just great, crystal clear. Sound quality, video playback, I mean, everything is super clean here. It is just really good. I can't say that it's not. It's just a great device. So how do I rate this device? If I missed anything, sorry. I try to keep the videos under 15 minutes now, because it seems like it's so much to talk about. You really can't fit it in. But how do I rate this device overall? And if you notice, I didn't talk about any dislikes, because I don't even really have a dislike. I just have a slight, I wish it would have been, and that's just the display. Now, the display looks perfect on camera here, and it looks perfect in person, but when you start getting next to 1080p displays, you can tell the difference. And it's not that it's bad, it's just not as sharp. But this is a 720 display, and I'm sure that at the time when they were building this phone, that's probably all they had to work with, or they felt like it would work best with a 720 display. Who knows? But the point is, it doesn't get that much of a lower rating because of the display. But I give it a 9.9 solely because it's such a gorgeous device, and it's a great device. I mean, and the fact that it has a 720 display, it's not too bad. It's actually great, but it's just hard to explain. You need to look at it next to a 1080p. As a matter of fact, go check out my video with the Note 3 versus this phone, and you'll see what I mean. Anyway, G-Flex users, and I'm one now officially. This has replaced my Samsung Galaxy Note 3 officially. I carry two devices. I normally carry a 5S or a Nexus and the Note 3. Now I've officially switched to the LG G-Flex and retiring my Note 3 to someone else in the house. That's what I'm going to do. Some people already have them, but I'm going to go ahead and retire it off to somebody else, or just box it out. So, LG G-Flex users, you have a fantastic device. You should enjoy it, because I am. 9.9 from me, guys. This is almost a perfect device. If I would have had a 1080p display, it would get a 12. I will see you in the next video. It's your boy Jay Will. I'm going to sign off with the double knock, top. It should be getting the code thing. I don't know that I'll use it, but LG G-Flex people. G-Flex owners, stand up. Follow me on Twitter. You know who I am.